Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. Today I have the SCT Sampler Kit unboxing for you. And whenever I do an unboxing, I do a project, so stick around for that. This is what the packaging looks like when it comes to you in the mail, and like the name implies, it is sampling of supplies from current scrapbooking lines. So you get 6x6 pattern papers cut down from full 12x12 sheets, as well as partial packs of embellishments and such, and a reusable product. And new this year to SCT, but here are these cute little bows that came in this package that I am just in love with. But also new for this year from the SCT company is a matching die with the month's theme word. So you get the shadow portion and the word portion. And so I've been in love with these kits forever, but these dies have kicked it up a notch, I think. And this month, there are companies in here that are kind of newer to the SCT family. And this is the LRDS brand, I believe that's what it is. And they provided not only a stamp set, but a set of paper crafting supplies as well, including those teeny tiny little bows, which I think I just need a whole package of those. So I think I will go buy some more. Speaking of which, I will leave links for you down below. If you like any of these products, you can check them out, as well as checking out subscribing to these kits. So here is the partial pack of different elements, and I think these were from 2 different ephemera packs, so I will link those up for you. And here are the pattern papers. Now note that these are single-sided pattern papers, but I'm going to show you one nice thing to do with single-sided pattern papers later on when I get to the project. And these pattern papers are a range of floral prints from their line, which I think is called Violet Studios. Any information that I have will be in the show description, so you can check out any correct links and information about these products. So I really like all these florals in here, a nice mixture of large and small prints, and those are pretty, so I'm going to have fun playing with those. And then we'll go ahead and move on to the second set of supplies, and this is pretty typical for these kits. You often get 2 manufacturers, plus the reusable item, which is from the same manufacturer this time around. So this one is from Echo Park, which I can't quite remember if they've done a partial pack of the Echo Park lines yet. So this might be a newer partnership with them as well. So you get a partial pack of the embellishments, and then these first 3 little sheets of paper are the cut aparts from larger scrapbook paper. So you get a 4x4 cut apart, 3x4 cut aparts, and a 4x6 cut apart. And then we'll go ahead and move into the regular scrapbooking papers. And this is the Birthday Girl collection. So you're going to see the birthday theme. And while it does say Birthday Girl, and there's a couple of parts and pieces that have the word girl on it, I'm going to show you, I'm doing a set of cards this time around, and I'm going to show you plenty of ways to use these in gender neutral fashion, so you don't have to feel stuck with it being girl themed. And the B-sides of these papers are so usable that you don't need to worry about it anyway. So I love my kits because it gets me using things that I might not otherwise have picked up on my own. I really like from this set the rainbow birthday cakes, and this particular print here, which looks like a grid, but it really is kind of threads that are kind of woven together, and it's really hard to pick it up on the camera, but it's a really fun print that I probably would have ignored this collection altogether just because it was themed towards, you know, girls, younger girls, and that's not something I necessarily look for. So getting a sample of supplies is really fun. So like I said, we're going to move into the projects, and I am going to do a whole huge set of card making because the set of supplies was very birthday themed, and that is the kind of cards I send the most often. I wanted to go ahead and make a big batch. And here is what I do with those single-sided papers. Because these are 6x6, you can just fold them in half and create cards out of them. And that means the inside of your card will be white, which is perfect for writing your greeting and messages on. So if you have single-sided paper, they make great cards. Now, this size ends up being 6x3, which is just slightly smaller than the mini slimline size that is kind of popular right now. So If you buy mini slimline envelopes, you can use those just fine for this size card, or you can make your own envelopes if you don't have any of those on hand. They do not fit in the regular A2 size envelope, so that's the only challenge here. So as I'm working through these cards, I've kind of broken this card making process down into 3 groups. This first group that you see me working on here, and at this point I'm just making card fronts besides the one little mini slimline, and I'll mount them onto cards later. But this first group here really focuses on the paper and the die cut elements. And here you see me moving on to the second group of cards, which is really going to focus on the die set that comes with this kit. And so here this first card really is just highlighting that die word that says celebrate. So that is the main front and center of the card for this part. Now the second 2 cards I'm going to do are going to be the positive and negative uses of this die. And I'm going to start off here with this grid print, and I like to do this with grid prints because it makes it much easier. I am going to line up that die nice and straight along the grids, and that will end up being helpful when I spread this out and do it multiple times on the same sheet of paper. Now I did save the little bits in the middle of the letters. I don't know if there's a name for those little spaces in the middle of the letters, but at any rate, I had planned on using those, but later I'll kind of ditch that. So here I am with the negative spaces of the word celebrate 3 times on that card front, and I wanted to back it with something really high contrast, and the only piece I had here was this green piece that I wanted to keep the other side of, so I just cut a portion of the other side that I really liked, and I'll just use that one portion later on another card, and that way I can still use the B side of this paper to finish up this card. So I was going to glue those little middle parts of the letters into there, but I'm going to show you a little trick in just a minute about how I make those words pop a little bit more without those center bits. With the positive shapes of the words, I've created another card, and I've popped up the final word on these teeny tiny foam dots, and I'll put a link to those in the notes because I really love these teeny tiny foam dots. And then that final card I outlined with my black pen to help pop those words just a little bit more, and that is where I use the pen to fill in the middles of the letters, and that way I don't have to glue in teeny tiny bits. Moving on to the third way I'm going to use this set of supplies for card making is to use that stamp set to do some watercoloring. And I'm going to just use regular stamping inks, so you don't need any special paints for these. And I'm going to make sure that I do have a stamping ink that is water resistant. And my favorite ink is the VersaFine black ink. And I am using a stamp positioner and watercolor paper. The stamp positioner is going to help me get a nice crisp image because watercolor paper has a lot of texture to it, and it tends to be splotchy if you're stamping on top of it. So if you do it multiple times with a stamp positioning tool, then you'll have more success. So I started off my watercoloring here by spritzing my paper down, and then I'm just kind of dropping color on top of that the wet paper. I've got darker color up the top of the sky and just lighter versions of the color down lower. I am making 2 cards right now, and I'll move back and forth between them. So I've got green, and I'm just doing a really loosey-goosey watercoloring. I'm just outlining the leaves and the stems, and then I'm going to come in and do a first layer of yellow on all the flowers, and then once that has dried, which I do heat with my heat tool to help speed that up, and then I'm going to come in here and do a second layer of yellow just for a tiny bit of dimension, and I am purposefully watercoloring outside the lines because it gives it that really loose, really informal look, and it's so much easier. If you're scared of watercoloring, you don't have to be. You can do this loosey-goosey style and it still comes out pretty. So here you go. I have got, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards, and I still have plenty of supplies left in my kit to work on more cards. So I just love these SCT Sampler kits, and I encourage you to check them out, and hopefully you would love them too. So that's it for this time. Thanks for watching. If you got something helpful out of this video, I do appreciate a thumbs up because that does help my channel. And I have one more video for you this week on Friday, which will be a scrapbook layout. I hope you will join me then. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.